my freaking bass is going nuts inside, dude. What the hell's wrong with the thing?
Whiskey's going crazy.
Dude,
Whiskey's going crazy.
Dude, bad.
Imagine that. Whiskey going crazy.
And he's looking at the wall. He never looks at the back wall. He's looking at the back wall, freaking splashing water everywhere.
Must be a spider on it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I bet you there is.
Bug or something. So basically, guys, this show, I just wanted to do a recap of what we.
Dude, just turn the record button on. We know what the hell we're about to do.
It's been on this whole time.
Good. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what happened. You can start the show. We can just go ahead and do it, guys. Just go ahead. Look, I want to know what y'all's numbers are, and how in the world did Andrew Upshaw come in last in our event and win the Texas Bass Head? Did you pick the same people?
Oh yeah, I mean they just had their own fantasy league, and they asked me if I wanted to be a part of it in the beginning. And I said, yeah, I'll do it, whatever, no big deal. And
Texas Bass, you were part of a group you didn't tell us about.
Honestly, I forgot about it. Whenever he posted it, I was like, I don't know if I beat Hallman and Todd. Like, that's where my mind was. I was like, I don't think I beat those guys.
No, you didn't beat us.
And
you
I was
won
like,
that whole thing.
I was like, I don't know. And yeah, and I won the whole thing, which was hilarious. So yeah. I mean,
that's so bad. I'm so mad about that. I'm like, and you pick the same people.
Oh yeah,
I mean, beat all those people too. I'm gonna tell.
Right, let's get one thing. I want to get one thing in the open. My picks in that last tournament had nothing to do with trying to beat you two. I could care less. My deal was I wanted to go as high to the top as I could with everybody overall, no matter what group. And I suffered for that. I picked everyone, 2% or less. And still felt like I had a hammer team. I did pick the winner.
You did.
Team.
You did, yep.
But the other four guys poo-pooed out on me.
I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if you picked the winner or Todd picked the winner, but I'm very glad it was you.
Yeah, I had Walters.
I couldn't believe Jesse didn't come through for you.
Jesse Tacarante finished 54th. So here was my other places, 80th, 20th, 57th, and 54th. I think total as a group, this is with the winner of the tournament, I only had 979 points. So that tells you it wasn't a very good week.
But he was the overall, he should have gotten double points for winning by 30 pounds. Let's just be honest there.
Yeah, he should have. It was definitely a runaway event. And, like I say, when I picked him, he was at 1.something%.
Yeah. No, I think that was obviously it was a good pick. But he's been pretty strong this fall.
Yes.
Very, very strong.
Yep.
Todd, I saw you were showing off a little bit, showing your point total and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about your team, what went on. Who'd you have? Who was good? Who was a bust?
Well, I picked Mullen. I had to go. I kind of did. I'm not saying that wasn't a good pick, but I picked Mullins, and I basically picked it just because we're buddies, and I was just pulling for him. I was pulling for him to win Angler of the Year, and I know Clark won it, and I'm good buddies with Clark. Well, I've done a TV show with Clark. I've known Clark longer, so I'm pretty happy for Clark too. I mean, two of my best buddies I know on the elites came in first and second in Angler of the Year, so pretty happy about that. Polinick just keeps on just tearing it up no matter what he does, opens, these things. My Chad Pipkins, I hadn't picked Chad Pipkins all year, and I listened to Andrew, and he finished 18th. I mean, he was third at one time, but he did good. My Lee Livesey went from 50th, 32nd, 9th to 7th.
Yep.
And then I never picked Brian Snow, and y'all always pick Brian in these fall events, so I picked Brian, and he finished 70th.
It's funny. I got a bunch of comments. A bunch of people watched our video for Lake Fork. And one of the things was, as we picked, or I talked about Rick Clunn being such a strong fall fisherman. And I think Hallman talked about Jay Ellis being a very strong Texas fall fisherman. And both of them had really, really good events. Obviously, Rick was leading after day one with a big old bag of fish, throwing his big square bill, which I was absolutely expected him to be catching on. Actually, beyond the Patrick Walters jerkbait deal, they actually caught him exactly the few ways that we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be throwing a square bill up shallow fishing docks or cranking offshore. That cranking bite actually started picking up hardcore towards the end of the tournament, the offshore cranking bite. If you watch any Bass Live, that's exactly that's why Keith Combs, he ran up. You know what? I was looking at my list in the beginning of the tournament. I was really struggling, but it's finished strong. You know, Matt Airy had a really tough event. I actually looked on Facebook before the tournament, and Matt actually talked about him having a very, very bad practice. And sometimes that's either really good or really bad. And in this case, he didn't have the event that he wanted. And I actually was going to go with Winlet. It only gave me a few points, not much. I mean, he did make the cut. Zaldane had a very solid finish at 13th. Combs, though, Money Combs, he ran from 39th, 11th, 3rd to 2nd. Not surprising whatsoever in my mind of him finishing the top 3 in that event. And then obviously Liv Say jumping his big jump all the way to 7th. But Snowden, man, he killed it for us in that final bracket. I really expected Snowden to have a big tournament.
Yeah, was there anyone in that final bracket though that like I never go back and look.
Clun was a very big.
I had some people post on my YouTube comments about this video and about us picking. So they're so I had to go back and look to see what all y'all did. But
the weights we were right on it too. You know, like we talked about, we'd all been there this time of year in the past previously, and you know, I said there's no way anybody's hitting 100 pounds. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be the Lake Fork that you see.
I did 99.15.
Without Patrick Walters, you don't see that number. Like it's where I thought it would be, you know, in the 70s, a little tougher grind, the fall grind that we all experienced a few times that we've been down there this time of year. But man, he just put that thing on a whole different level.
Well, it's funny because like at one point he was at 97 pounds. I picked 96 pounds even, and I was like, dude, like I almost hit that right on the head. And then of course he jumps another 10 pounds. I'm like,
I had 99.15. I thought I had a chance.
Yeah, no, it was gonna be close.
I was just thinking about this, and I don't know if y'all guys can remember, but Hallman picked the winner this time.
Yep.
Correct. I picked the win. I can't remember everyone, so I picked Lee.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I picked Polinick.
Yeah, you did.
So did y'all?
I think there was a buddy pick in there at Eufaula.
Yes.
But I'm not sure of the others. But I was looking at it the other day. I want to say that we picked almost every. I'm not gonna say every one because we might have missed one. Yeah. But I'm gonna say we were almost 100% as far as picking winners in this event in this fancy fishing season.
Really? Was that high?
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know. Really I don't know if it was. It was. I'm just saying. There's 4 that I can remember, and I want to say one of us.
Whether it was dark horses or actual picks, we landed on the picks a lot. I mean, it was. Well,
dude, we were all 90%. In the 90. Yeah, we were all in the 90%. I mean, me and Hallman were sitting at 98, 99 most of the season. I think Andrew just started like just creeping. Yeah. You were always at over 90 though.
Oh yeah, no, I was always over like 93, 95, and then I really started climbing there towards the end. I actually ended up with 96.4.
Ooh, okay, let's do it though. What was your rank?
My rank was 1,368.
Hallman?
1,017.
Dang.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that, that 3-digit number out there, that 622. Just throw that out there.
I mean, I feel like I could have got that if I'd have played safe, but like I wanted to try to swing for it at the end, which is very much my personality, and it didn't work.
Hey, I didn't exactly just pick a bunch of I didn't go as dark horse as you. I mean, you went like way in the dark. You went like blind. Yeah. I went like dusk.
Dusk. I only really picked 2. I mean, with Snowden and Airy. The rest of mine were pretty, well-liked picks as far as Combs and Livesay and Zaldane.
And look what happened. They all did freaking good.
Every one of them did. That's what, it really shows. I really wish I'd have gotten Fighter just because he caught that giant one and won him a truck. Right. But guys, like that is a wrap for fancy fishing. But we're actually going to be on the road. This video, I'm pretty sure it's posting Saturday morning. So we're all either going to be at Louisville or on our way to Louisville. I'm actually going to be in Alabama. I've got to fly out to a wedding. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? I drive down tomorrow, which is Friday, fly out to a wedding, and then I fly back on Sunday, and then I start practice. But
is this your brother's wedding?
No, it's a Casey O'Donnell. He used to travel with me for all the FLW tournaments. He was a co-angler of mine. I'm one of his groomsmen. So he actually he did a lot of work to try to plan it to where it was not on a tournament, so I could be there. So I'm going to be there for him.
Yeah.
So,
I understand that.
but yeah, and we're kicking off practice on one of the toughest places in Texas.
Yeah.
Hallman, last time you were there, you actually were leading or first, second, or third after day one. I wasn't at the event, so I know he was up there on the first day.
Can I tell the story?
I just remember Todd screaming in the first 10 minutes of the first day of the tournament.
So we take off, and they put this tournament in it's not the worst time. They could have put it in January, but it's like late February. It's ridiculous. We all know it's going to be the worst tournament ever. So we all take off, and me and Hallman, like, we start in the same pocket with like 4 other guys. And when I say small pocket, I mean we could all talk to each other basically. And like we go in there, and Hallman like goes straight to the back, and I'm like, dang it. And I'm headed right at Hallman. And Hallman goes back there, and next thing I know, Hallman catches this freaking stud. And I'm like, how big was that? He's like, 5. I'm like, you just made a check.
This is the first 10 minutes of a 3-day tournament. He's like, you're getting paid with that one.
And I was 100% dead on. Because I know I caught like whatever I caught in that tournament and got a check. But it was not much over 5. But Hallman's like, what? I'm like, dude, I promise you that 5-pounder just put you in check range. And it did. 5 pounds got you paid in that open.
Oh, yeah.
But then he came back. Yeah. Was it day 2 you smacked? Like you went in there and caught. I left it alone. I did horrible on day 1 and caught him on day 2.
Yeah.
Hallman. So I didn't go in that pocket. Hallman went in that pocket and caught 5, right?
Yeah. I had a big bag the day 2. Like I let it go into the last day, and it being February, we actually had the coldest night, the coldest day of all winter was that night and the next day. And of course, I was catching them, that deep. And I didn't catch a bass the next day, and they tied. I think Bertrand and Chapman tied and had to have a fish off. They beat me by like 3 ounces, and I didn't even weigh a bass the last day. It was pretty disheartening because the Classic was on Grand. That was for a Classic spot at Grand Lake.
There was a guy that like 18 was leading day 1, and there was a guy throwing an Alabama rig on the dam. He made the cut with that bag and never caught another fish on day 2 or day 3. I mean, there were like 2 guys that did it through an Alabama rig on the dam that day 1 and never caught another fish for 2 more days, but still made the cut. And
it won't be quite as stingy as it was then.
And I don't think it's gonna be fantastic, but I think we're gonna hit Louisville about as good. Yeah. Other than fishing it during the spawn when a ton of bass are up, about as good as the time of year that we could probably hit it, honestly.
No, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be. When I say bad, considering what we've had, I think it will not be like what we had when me and Hallman were there. The lake's gotten way better since then.
So I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near as bad as Cherokee, hopefully. So
if the Opens have proven anything this fall, it's that all of the outdoor writers for the last 25 years that write the articles about while all the guys are in the deer stands, the bass are biting, they should have gone out and grabbed a pole and tried that theory because it's not working very well for us.
Yeah, fishing's been pretty rough.
Yeah, it was funny though. Before we started this video, I got on and I hadn't seen y'all guys in a couple of days, and I was like, dude, I caught like 100 fish today. So it's not bad everywhere.
It does depend on where you go. There's no doubt, because I mean, I've been to places in November where it's like stupid good.
Yeah,
it was lights out today. I didn't catch a bunch of big ones, but and I can't make a video because my video only recorded 17 minutes of the first deal. So
we've all had a little bit of video issues this year. I don't know if everybody is watching this. Like, I just posted my Cherokee video, and it's literally one video of everything, including me losing the 5-pounder at the boat, which was fantastic.
But tell them why.
Oh, I recorded everything in super slow motion.
How did you do that, by the way?
There's actually a setting on top of my big camera. It's a Sony A6400.
I had the same one. That's why I'm
asking.
asking.
You do. Yeah, and there's one. It's right next to the video button. There's one that's called HFR, and it shoots in high frame rate and has zero sound. And you don't know it when you're recording because it records. When you're looking at it, everything looks like it's normal recording. It's actually doing it in super slow motion and no sound. So all Neely Henry's gone, and even my travel to Lake Cherokee is gone. So
car on fire and all that stuff you were bragging about.
Yeah, I had all that great stuff. It really is unfortunate.
Don't worry though. I got all the push-up videos. I got Andrew in the race racing, and we got
Hey,
Captain
I got
Deeds.
that too. I did post that on mine. I got the push-up video,
and I got Captain Deeds. So I mean, as long as we have Captain Deeds on there, what else do we need?
That was a lot of food for not a whole lot of money. I will say that, no doubt about that.
It wasn't bad. It was so good. I got Holman to go with me when we got to Cherokee on the
we went back.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's a wrap for Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing for this year, 2020. No one knows what 2021 is going to hold, where everybody's going to be fishing, what we're going to be fishing. But I can tell you this, if we're fishing the opens and everything's going back to usual, we will be doing the fancy fishing stuff. But thank you all for staying tuned this year and competing with us and really keeping track of everything. These guys were really hard on it. Todd was more of a fly-by-seat of his pants kind of guy. Hallman did his research. But, at the end of the day, we all had a lot of fun. Next year, I think we're actually going to create our own little league.
Yes.
And everybody can join in and compete against us. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to give away a bunch of prizes, and it should be a good time. But thank you, Hallman, Todd, for being a part of it. Todd, it looks like you got something to say.
Yeah, comment on this. I want to hear on Andrew's comments, like what some of y'all did. Like I want to hear y'all scores.
Yeah,
so
post your rank, post your scores. Let us know how you did. Because the winner is watching.
What helped you from this show and what didn't help you, what we could cover better? Like, do you want all the dark horses or not as many dark horses? Just kind of give us some feedback.
They're exactly right. Give us that feedback if you can. Let us know what you think about it, what we can do better next time. I want to say probably the next event is going to be the Bassmaster Classic at Ray Roberts. And I can tell you there's one person on this chat right now that has been there and wants some money there, and that is Todd. And I think he'll be able to deliver a lot of insight on how they'll be fishing, how they'll be catching them. And I will give this spoiler, I did see that Steve Kennedy went and pre-practiced there the other day and caught his personal best at 10 pounds, 10 ounces. And that is in the fall. So that's pretty big fish. I think that's just more to come whenever we hit the Classic.
Me and Brent won a championship there in the fall a couple years ago, and we caught some big ones. I mean, that place has got them. It's going to be interesting when they go there. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to wait till that deal. But, yeah, I have some insight for sure on that deal.
Well, and at the end of the day, guys, we can still make it. There's 2 events left.
That's true. That's why I ain't saying a word.
So, but, yeah, that's a wrap for Fantasy Fishing 2020. Thank goodness 2020 is almost over, heading into 2021. Thank you, guys, and we'll catch you down the road.
Yep.